Story. Once upon a time, there was an AI, and people called it a brain in a jar. I mean, it was brilliant with data, but it couldn't even open a door. So level up, study buddy. Let's build our understanding of how AI is literally breaking out of that jar and stepping into our world. This is the dawn of embodied AI, where digital intelligence finally gets a body. Just think about it for a second. For years, our most powerful AIs have been kind of like commentators. They're amazing at analyzing and thinking, but they've never been doers. They've always lived behind the glass. Well, that's all changing, and it's changing fast. Robots, drones, you name it, they're all lining up for this massive intelligence upgrade. So let's really dig into the classic problem. You see, this whole brain in a jar idea, it just perfectly nails the historical limits of AI. It had all this incredible computing power, but absolutely zero ability to act in the physical world. Okay, this analogy right here is so important, so let's break it down. Picture this. Traditional software AI, that's your brilliant sports commentator. They can analyze every single play, they can predict outcomes, they can tell you exactly what a player should do. But they can't step on the field and actually run the ball. Embodied AI, on the other hand, that's the athlete. It's got the intelligence to understand the play and the physical body to go out there and make it happen. Now, this limitation created this huge, frustrating problem in the industry, and they call it pilot purgatory. Companies would cook up these amazing AIs at a sterile lab, but the second they tried to use them in the real world, they just fail. Spectacularly. And why? Because the real world is messy, it's unpredictable. A classic robot would follow its programming perfectly, but the moment a single thing changed, like a box being a few inches out of place, the whole system would just crash. So how do we fix this? How do we finally get the AI out of the lab and onto the factory floor or into the hospital or wherever we need it? Well, this is where the magic happens. We give that intelligence a body. Embodied AI is the real game changer here. And listen, this isn't just about sticking a computer inside a robot. No, it's about a deep, fundamental integration of intelligence and physical form. And what you get is something totally new, an autonomous agent. This thing doesn't just follow a list of instructions, it perceives its environment, it reasons about it, and then it acts, all on its own. So, the big question is, how do these agents actually do all that? How do they see and think and process the world around them? Well, it really boils down to two super powerful concepts working together. First off, it has to see. But here's the thing. It sees in a way that's way more complete than how we do. It's called multi-modal perception. It uses cameras for regular sight, sure, but it also uses Lidar, which is basically lasers, to understand depth and distance perfectly. Then it adds in GPS to know its exact location. And when it fuses all of that data together, it builds this incredibly rich, real-time 3D model of everything around it. Okay, so it can see, but how does it think? It uses this really cool hybrid approach called Neuro-Symbolic Reasoning. The easiest way to think about it is that it has both intuition and logic. The neuro part, the neural network, that's like its gut feeling. It's amazing at recognizing patterns, like seeing a shape and knowing that's a chair. The symbolic part is the classic logical AI that can plan step by step. By combining them, the agent can understand that's around it and figure out the smartest way to get from point A to point B. And this all comes together in the agent's core operating system, which is this constant feedback loop. Step 1, it senses the world using all those sensors we talked about. Step 2, and this is the absolute secret sauce, it simulates. Before it ever moves a muscle, it runs these internal what-if scenarios, predicting what will happen if it takes a certain action. That simulate step is what busts AI out of pilot purgatory. Instead of failing when that box is in the wrong spot, it just simulates a new path around it on the fly. And finally, based on the best simulation, it acts. This sense, simulate, act loop is what finally connects virtual intelligence with real-world impact. Okay, so we've gotten into the weeds on the tech. Now let's zoom back out. What do we call these agents when they actually start working side by side with us? We call them cobots, which is short for collaborative robots. And that word, collaborative, is everything. Let's be super clear, this is not about replacing people. It's about creating a proactive, physical teammate, an agent that can actually anticipate what you need, adapt to new situations, and work with a human partner to get the job done. And the stuff this unlocks, it's absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about factories that are so automated, they can literally reconfigure themselves in minutes. Supply chains that can feel a disruption and automatically reroute everything, basically healing themselves. We can send autonomous drone swarms into dangerous areas for search and rescue, or we can create intelligent partners for surgeons and hospitals to help with incredible precision.
So let's bring it all back home with our main analogy here. The whole journey of AI has been about moving from the commentary box all the way down to the playing field.
Look, here's the bottom line. The commentator knows the playbook inside and out. It describes what should happen. Its intelligence is passive. But the athlete, our embodied AI, it doesn't just know the playbook, it runs the play. It doesn't describe what should happen, it goes out there and makes it happen. Its intelligence isn't passive, it's agentic. It has agency, the power to actually act in the world. This is a massive, fundamental shift in what AI is and what it can do for us. So now that you've been introduced to the athlete, are you ready to see how they train, how they actually improve their game out in the real world? All right, here's your next move. I want you to go to Notebook LM and use this exact prompt. Seriously, copy and paste it. This will give you some incredibly specific, real-world examples of how these agents are already making a huge difference in warehouses, in operating rooms, and even in monitoring our planet. It'll take all these concepts we just talked about and make them totally real for you. Because here's the big takeaway from all this. AI is leaving the screen. It is entering our world and it's ready to work with us. If you want to keep up with this physical AI revolution, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with Notebook LM. Stay agentic.